Sam, what's happening? What's wrong with everybody?
I don't know. They just doubled over all of a sudden a second ago. Trudy, get an ambulance!
Okay, I'll be back as fast as I can. Sam, I didn't want to be right about something bad happening. I didn't.
I know, Tess. Let's just see if we can do something for them. We better try to keep them warm, at least.
Tess knelt by Guy Joe's side. His pain was so great he had bitten through his bottom lip. She took one of his hands in hers, but he gripped it so hard she cried out in pain and backed away. Sam came up to her.
Tess, did you eat any brownies?
What?
Did you eat any of those brownies Trudy passed around? Because I didn't, and I'm fine too. And Trudy didn't. She's on a diet. But Beak and Guy Joe and Candace did. You get the picture?
The ambulance arrived, and the first question the attendants asked was about booze and drugs at the party. Sam told them there was none, and he handed over the red brownie box, which was now empty except for a few crumbs. The attendants took the box without further questions and drove away with the patients. Sam, Trudy, and Tess followed in Sam's car. They were sitting once again in the waiting room of the medical center when the parents of the victims began arriving.
Tess, what's going on here? What happened to your brother? And where were you when it happened?
I was there, Father, and it wasn't drugs or booze. It was probably brownies.
Brownies?
Well, Trudy had a box of them at the party. Everyone who ate them got sick.
Who made them?
I guess they were a gift. The box was just there, sitting on a hamper. Well, there was no card, Trudy said.
Are you sure it wasn't drugs?
Well,
Yes,
yeah.
we're sure. Excuse me, I'm Dr. Tanner. I've been pumping the kids' stomachs. They'll be okay. Miserable, but okay. We're keeping them overnight to make sure. You see, they were poisoned.
Poison, Doctor? At my party?
Well, this was no accident. Looks like rat poison. We can't be sure until we've analyzed the bit of remaining brownie. Mrs. Beecham.
Yes?
Your son, Donald. That's his name?
Doss. Everyone calls him Doss.
Well, he seems to have consumed very little. Well, I'm releasing him.
Tess's first thought was that Doss knew about the poison and took only a little bit of brownie to make himself look like one of the victims.
I've got to get back to the others, but the police are here, and no doubt they'll want to talk to all of you, okay?
Right.
A depressed silence fell over the group. Trudy was crying quietly in a corner. But Tess wasn't impressed. After all, Trudy had acted the lead in several school plays. She was a very convincing actress.
Poison. I can't believe it.
Now will you move back with your dad, Tess?
I'll think about it, Sam, I promise. But not tonight. Well, Guy Joe won't be there. I don't want to be alone with my father. Maybe I'll go up to Gina's room and tell her what happened.
Tess told Sam to take Trudy back to the beach to pick up her things. Trudy looked so shaken when she left the waiting room, it was hard to believe she was guilty. But then she was an actress. It was by now very late, and Tess had to sneak past the nurses to get to Gina's room. Gina was asleep, with only a tiny nightlight on over her hospital bed. Exhausted, but feeling safe at last, Tess curled up in a chair and fell asleep.
The truth of who I was danced around the attic that afternoon. I felt the old me slide out of my body and disappear through the cracks in the wooden floor. I was gone. There wasn't any me anymore. My whole life had been a lie, so now I didn't exist. I was the O'Hare baby. I was the child who was never told the truth, never told who its real parents were. The kid who had every material possession but never an ounce of real love. Lila O'Hare would have given me that love. And Tully would have too, if my father and his friends hadn't driven him to suicide. They stole his life, just as my father stole Lila's journal when she died. They had to be punished, all of them. But how? What would be awful enough? And then a voice whispered in my ear, "Punish their children. The men will suffer more if you do this." It was so easy to get the children. They trusted me. It's weird knowing you're not real, feeling like I'm walking around without a body, as if I'm a spirit already. I will be soon. I'll join my parents. Why not? I have no life here. But before I go, I have to teach Tess a lesson. But I have to hurry. Chalmers could trace the poison to my house. The hardware store keeps records of all the poison sales. What makes me really angry is that I never found out who Buddy was. I can't ask the people who would know. My so-called father and his friends. It'd be too suspicious. No. The only thing left is to punish Tess. I'm going to take her with me when I go.